All right, guys, we have this is the Talon 250G. We have converted it to a T-tail. I don't have the rudder hooked up because I was in a hurry to get this thing going, but we do have the motor swapped to our 2306 1400 kV, and we have a 5,000 milliamp 4S 1P 21700 lithium ion pack. This thing is heavy, so I don't know if it's gonna fly or not, but we're gonna find out. All right, guys, we got a flight in with the Talon 250G T-tail with this 5,000 milliamp pack, and it actually flies pretty well. It definitely needs tuned a little bit. We were flying it in full manual mode, and the ailerons need to be lessened a little bit because it was really twitchy. But we went into a turn, and you see that little wood piece? It pulled the wood piece out and literally pulled the wing. It pulled the wing off because of the weight. So having that big motor in the back, it definitely needs a lot of weight to hit the CG. Well, not only do we have the motor in the back, but we also made our one-piece elevator, which I think we have a Nano Talon. I think we may convert the Nano Talon to a T-tail, and all we have to do is add the rudder. It flies really well. I know there's going to be some people saying, well, if it flies well, then how come you didn't record it? Well, I'm by myself, and I'm not going to put a camera on something that has been modified to fly. I would love to have the wing closer to the front like this, so there's more space. So maybe we can try to get the wing further up, but that would make an issue with trying to mount the battery, because the battery also has to go in the front. But I think if you had the wing further up like that, it could be something, because it flies with the wing in its normal spot like here. It does fly pretty well, but I think the wing would do better if you had it all the way up to the nose. So we may try this. We may try to convert it so that the wing is all the way up to the nose, right over the battery, and you have a good distance between the tail and the nose. I think it looks pretty sick with the wing up front like this. So this little plane, but I don't know. I think most people that want to convert are going to want to keep it simple. So this wood piece in here, you're definitely going to want to glue that wood piece in really good, and maybe even have a carbon spar or something. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out though. Hey guys, just got done flying the Talon 250G T-tail, and I'm very impressed with it. We packed it with a 5,000 milliamp lithium ion pack, 21700. We flew it for 5 minutes, and we still had 98% battery life left. So I think we are going to stick a flight controller in this, and this might be the most efficient plane that I have. We're running a 2306 1400 kV with a 6042 prop, 30 amp ESC. The only thing is that battery takes up so much space. I'm wondering, we may have to mount the camera on top of the canopy, because there's nowhere to mount it inside of the airframe, just because of how small it is. So I'm not sure if we're gonna do an analog setup. I mean, I really prefer to do an analog setup just because it's a lot simpler. I can use a pan servo and mount that on top of the canopy, and I can use a cheap $16 tiny whoop. Planning on doing an analog setup on the Talon 250G because it's more simpler and less weight. We could do digital, but you just do not have space when you have a 5,000 milliamp lithium ion pack. I think if we go ahead and stuff a flight controller in here and run Express LRS on this, I think if we stuck a little AKK C23 200 milliwatt VTX and put us a little analog camera, we may be able to stick an analog camera in the nose. Actually, you could. It would just have to be one of those smaller, I don't know. I don't like the smaller cameras. I'd rather use a regular size cam. You know what? We do have that run cam, but I don't like the image of it. So yeah, we'll figure it out. But as much as rambling as I've been doing, I believe this will be the most efficient plane just because of its capacity. I think this plane would have at least an estimated 2-hour flight time, which I'm probably going to put to the test. I think I might just loiter it because I don't know exactly how I would fly this thing for 2 hours straight. But we're gonna figure something out. But the Talon 250G might be a new worthwhile plane with a little modifications to it. And we are going to modify the Nano Talon. We have two Nano Talons. We're gonna keep one as stock as possible. And then I think we are going to use the carbon spar method to convert it over to a T-tail, because this thing flew really well as a T-tail. So stay tuned, guys.